Massive blind spot revealed by Freedom of Information request. Remember the not exactly gluten-free Cargill soy flour recall of March this year? Cargill initiated the recall or withdrawal of soy flour and textured soy flour products after food manufacturers found it contained gluten during testing. Cargill also removed gluten-free claims from soy products processed at a facility in Iowa, USA, at the same time. The products, which were not sold to consumers, were withdrawn from supply chains across the globe, including North America, Central America, and the United Kingdom, after Cargill admitted that they may contain gluten above 20 parts per million, despite being marketed with gluten-free claims. More than 50 million pounds of products were affected. Freedom of Information requests have since revealed an unexpected source for the gluten. It wasn't cross-contamination during grinding, packing or transport. It was instead believed to be the result of agricultural commingling with rye. Rye and wheat are common cover crops in Iowa. The affected soy was processed in a facility in Iowa. So what is a rye cover crop? Rye cover crops are grown over winter between crops of soy or corn. The rye is either terminated prior to planting or sowing the soy, or it can be allowed to keep growing for a short time to protect the young soy plants. Cover crops reduce weed growth in the fields over winter, preserve moisture, and improve soil health and soil nutrients. Soy farmers aim to kill the plants of cover crops before their seeds become viable, because viable seeds cause unwanted plants to appear in subsequent crops. However, in farming, things don't always go to plan. Weather conditions or lack of available equipment can prevent farmers from terminating cover crops at the right time. Gluten blind spot. Cargill reportedly learned about gluten-containing cover crops being used in soybean farming only during their root cause investigation for the recall. From a food safety perspective, this looks like a massive blind spot. Records from the Iowa facility did not show that rye or wheat was present in the incoming soybeans, according to USDA grading standards. Why wasn't this on the radar? Cover crops are being used more widely today than in the past. In 2019, farmers in Iowa planted 36% more land with cover crops than was planted in 2017. Since most cover crops are not allowed to set viable seeds, the risks of contamination might have been judged to be low. And when I say they're not allowed to set viable seeds, I mean the crops are terminated before they can set viable seeds. Or perhaps no one in soy production realised that traces of gluten-containing cereals would be a problem for soy ingredient makers like Cargill. In addition, because rye grains, or rye seeds, are significantly smaller than soybeans, it might have been assumed that any inadvertent rye contamination would be removed during screening and cleaning processes. Gluten-Free Watchdog, the organisation that initiated the Freedom of Information requests, asks, was Cargill testing for soy? Was Cargill testing for gluten? Or were they assuming that soy is naturally gluten-free and doesn't require testing? Good question. In short, soy flour from a facility in Iowa was recalled after users found it contained gluten. Soybeans processed at the facility are thought to have been affected by agricultural commingling with rye. Rye and wheat plants are used as cover crops for soy in Iowa, with the number of acres increasing over recent years. Rye and wheat seeds contain gluten. Gluten-free claims have been removed from soy products from that facility. And in the email and post, you can find a link to read more about the Freedom of Information request. And there is also a link to a video where you can watch a farmer plant soy into a standing rye cover crop.